Proverbs 29:18. When there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. What does it mean to us today? People who live their lives as they please, do whatever they think is right, it will lead them to be discontented and unsuccessful in their lives. Contentment and joy in life comes only by keeping God's commandments. Technology has given us more ways to listen to his word, so there's a very few excuse for us to be out of touch. But we have learned the art of selective hearing, selective reading. We have learned to ignore emails, screen texts, and have learned the art of cutting off. And it's not a new phenomenon. Israel, in Samuel's time, had suffered from the sickness. It wasn't that God was not speaking, they still had the law, but neither those who were tasked with preaching nor those who were tasked with listening were doing their job. Their problem started with Eli and his sons, Ophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord. The sons used their positions in the office to fatten their own bellies and satisfy their own desires instead of preaching the word of God. In those days, the word of the Lord was rare because they neglected to do what they were asked to do, and God refused to speak and gave them a silent treatment. But the scenario changed when Samuel entered the scene. When God saw a boy who was attentive to listen and heed, "Speak, for your servant is listening," said Samuel, when he knew God was reaching out to him. God broke the silence and spoke to him very clearly what was going to happen to Eli and his family and to all Israel. 1 Samuel 3 verse 19 reads, "The Lord was with Samuel as he grew up, and he let none of his words fall to the ground. And all Israel from Dan to Beersheba recognized that Samuel was attested as a prophet of the Lord." The Lord continued to appear at Shiloh, and there he revealed himself to Samuel through his word. And Samuel's word came to all Israel. I like the phrase, "He let none of his words fall to the ground." God confirmed Samuel's prophecies again and again. All Samuel's word hit straight at the target. None of them fell to the ground. How can we relate this incident into our life today? God desires to speak to us even today, just as he did to Samuel. All he requires is our availability, not our ability. Are you willing to hear? You can't expect to hear from God when you are on a selective hearing mode. God can give us his written word, and God has given us his written word, and he wants us to take it up with reverence and expectation to hear his word directing our steps and guiding us, comforting our burdened hearts, assuring his presence when we become weary and tired. When God commands, are you ready to adhere and obey? When we do not obey, he waits in silence until our will is ready. The relationship between God and us is based on us submitting to his authority to rule in our lives. So if we want to hear the voice of God, then we must become like Samuel and with a solemn silence of the mind and total submission of the heart say, "Here I am, your servant, speak. Lord, I'm listening." And available, attentive, adherent, accurate an answer Samuel was, and he was used greatly by the Lord. He was acknowledged as a prophet, as none of his words fell to the ground. You can be a Samuel too, with A to the power of 4, with all the qualities. Are you ready to be adherent to his call? Be blessed.